Hey, what's up guys? It's Flex and welcome back. So the infotainment system on my 2015 Audi A4 is pretty outdated. I mean, I could play CDs, I could play music from a memory card, I can use the AUX, and I can also Bluetooth my phone. However, I don't have access to any apps. So what I'm gonna do today is retrofit a CarPlay Android Auto module to this radio. Check out the kit I'm gonna be installing today. Here is the entire kit. Right here in the center is the module, and these are all the accessories. So let me show you how they plug in. So starting on this side, this white port, this cable right here with the white connector plugs in right there, and this plugs into the back of the radio on the car. Next, this port right here, this cable here with this kind of maroon connector plugs in here, and the other end plugs into a cable pulled off of the radio. Next, there is a mic port. So of course, there's a microphone right here with a 3.5 jack that will plug right in. And there's a TP port right here that's not used. And this port right here is the power port. So it connects to this large harness right here using this connector. So following this, these RCAs aren't used. This is a USB port if I want to plug in a USB drive to upload video, music, pictures. This quad connector plugs into the quad connector on the back of this stock radio. And this right here, this will actually plug into a port that's behind the glove compartment. So that's it for this side. On the other side, this right here is where the Wi-Fi connector will screw right on. And after everything's fully connected to the car, this right here is important. This is a series of switches. They actually have to be aligned properly based on what radio I have. So based on these controls, I will actually have to make sure everything is up except for the 2 position. Here's everything connected except for the microphone. I'm gonna have to run its connector from the footwell to the center console, but this is ready to go. So yeah, that's the latest CarPlay Android Auto module available through DMP Car Design. And I want to thank DMP Car Design for sponsoring this video and providing me with the kit. And if you want more information on the kit in this video, use the link in the description below. So now, let's get to the install. First step is to remove the radio. So I'm going to grab some Audi radio keys, insert it into the right side and left side of the radio. And once they click in, I can pull the radio right out. Now I'm just going to grab a microfiber towel and just cover my shift knob just to make sure, because it's probably going to get scratched up if I don't cover it up. Next step is to remove all the connectors from the radio to free it up. So I'm just going to pinch a bunch of these connectors right off. These 2, I'm going to need a small screwdriver just to push on the clip to release it from the radio. And for the quad lock, I'm actually going to pinch this hinge right here and lift it right up, and that should free the connector from the radio. There's one more connector right here. Again, just need to pinch it and pull it off. And then on the other side, there's one more connector I just need to pinch and pull off. Here's the radio and here's the module. I'm going to take two connectors from the module and connect it to the radio. First one, this white connector here on the other end, that's going to go into this gray port behind the radio. And the next one is this quad connector here. I'm going to insert that right into the large port on the radio. Now back in the car, here are all the connectors I initially removed. I'm going to grab two of them and install it in the system. So first, this quad connector here will plug into the other end of the quad connector I installed on the radio. And then this right here, if you follow it, this blue end will need to plug into this gray connector that I pulled from this gray port. Now that everything's hooked up, I'm going to run this USB port through the center console and out through the footwell. Next, I'm going to grab the microphone cable and I'm going to route the connector through the same way I ran the USB port. And once I pull it through, I'm going to plug it right into the microphone port in the module. So the microphone, I actually ran it through this crease right here, all the way up here, and I have it right here so it can pick up my voice really well. So now we have one connector left, this right here. So this will need to go through the center console and behind the glove box. So I need to first remove the glove box. So it's not that hard to remove the glove box. There's one bolt right here. There's two on the bottom, one here and one here. And when you open it up, there's a bunch all along here. Now with the screws removed, I can pull the glove box right off. And with the glove box removed, I can reach this red connector right here and pull it off. And in place of it, I'm going to plug in this yellow connector on my harness, and then the red connector will plug into the other end of the harness. So here's it fully connected. Now I can go ahead, reinstall the glove box and push in the radio. So right here, I'm just moving the cables aside so I can push the module in and down. This way I have room to slide the radio back in. For the Wi-Fi stick, I'm actually just going to push it in and it should work perfectly fine. So before sliding the radio in, I'm going to push a tab on the side of the radio to release the radio keys. And then once those are removed, I can go ahead and slide the radio right back in. And that's it. It's fully installed. I'm going to first turn on the car. And then in the menu, I'm going to select Media. Then I'm going to select Source. And then I'm going to scroll down to the AUX. So to have access to this external audio input, I actually have to have a cable inside the glove box. So here's the AMI cable. It should come with the car. If not, it is included in the DMP Car Design kit. But it just needs to be plugged in. The other end doesn't need to be plugged in at all. So once I select that, now I'm in the modules menu, and as you can see, I have CarPlay, Android Auto. I can select mirroring to mirror my phone screen. There's also Bluetooth. There's a video player. There's video in. There's settings, and then music. So let me go to settings. So in general, I'm gonna select the Auto Start Phone Link app. So this way I can automatically connect to CarPlay as soon as I get in the car. In car setting, I just want to make sure my reverse camera is set on factory camera. Everything else I'm just going to leave alone. Next is display. I'm not changing anything here. Language, I'm going to keep that on English. And system, I'm not going to touch that, only if I need to do a reset. So back to the home screen. So on the main screen, I'm going to select the CarPlay function. So now it's telling me to connect my iPhone. So now on my iPhone, I need to make sure Wi-Fi and Bluetooth are turned on. In the Bluetooth menu, I need to be connected to the limb set box. And in the Wi-Fi section, I need to connect to CarPlay 524E. So once those are connected, it should automatically detect my phone setting, and I should be able to access CarPlay. So when I first get into the car and turn it on, it should automatically detect my phone and turn on CarPlay. So in CarPlay, I'm going to use my scroll wheel to scroll through all the features and functionality. I mean, there's a lot here. There's my phone, music, Apple Maps, messages. I also have Google Maps, Pandora, Sirius, just a bunch of different apps, which is really cool. And then if I want to go to the modules menu, I'll go to Audi MMI, select that, and I can switch between the different functions. So if I want to get to my main screen, which is my Audi's regular screen, all I need to do is hold down the menu button for a few seconds, and it'll take me back to my Audi's OEM screen. And then if I want to quickly go back to CarPlay or the module screen, just hold menu again. And then I can just select CarPlay and I'm back in CarPlay. So one thing to note is when I turn on the car, when I put the car in reverse, it'll switch automatically to the reverse camera. And then when I put the car back into park or drive, the system will automatically go back to CarPlay, which is pretty cool. Well, there you have it. The install wasn't that bad, and now I can finally have access to my apps using the radio on my car. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, hit like below. As always, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you next time.